Hello, I'm Mike LaChapelle. Welcome back to Innovation by Design. This is Module 5, where we will cover the channels component of the business model. Now, in the previous video, we considered the first way in which we connect our customers and the value propositions, our get, keep, and grow strategies of customer relationships. Now, in this module, we'll look at the second way in which we connect customers and value, the channels that we use. Channels represent the touch points the business will use to interact with its customers. And there's two essential aspects to be considered in looking at channels. The first is the channels that will be used to communicate with the customers, to let them know what the business has to offer and how to access those offers. Now, social media such as Facebook and Twitter and mobile computing have revolutionized how businesses communicate with their customers. They've also changed the expectations that customers have on the frequency and the quality of communications with the business. And when thinking about what channels will be effective for your business, it's important to understand where your customers typically go for information and align your communication strategy accordingly. A lot of time and effort and expense can be wasted if you design a Facebook approach for a customer who doesn't typically engage in Facebook when trying to do that job or solve that problem. Why spend money on bench and billboard advertising when your customers get their information from the internet? Now, the second aspect of channels is transacting business with the customer. Now, bricks and mortars business will have its store locations. A business that sells directly to customers in their workplace may need a sales force. And an internet-based sales company will look at transactions, collecting payments, and the delivery methods. Will you accept credit cards? If so, will you process the transactions yourself through a merchant account, or will you use a service such as PayPal or Square? Now, if the interaction is personal, then channels also have to include the people who are involved, whether it's your sales force or your general staff. There are two sets of characteristics important to understanding your channels. The first is whether the channels you will use are physical, Salesforce or retailers, or are they virtual? Websites, social media, platforms, such as a marketplace. Now, most businesses might use a combination of these two. The second aspect is whether the channels are direct or indirect. Are you connecting with your customers, or is there an intermediary between you and the customer? Emails and advertising sent to your customers or communicating on your own Facebook page are direct channels. The important aspect being that you control them. Advertising on other sites, banner advertising on websites, and local media are all examples of indirect channels. When thinking about your channels, it helps to look at what channels will be used at each stage of the buying cycle, or when you're dealing with customized solutions or with connecting people, what channels will be used at each stage of the value creation cycle. So to summarize, channels are the points of connection with the customers and serve two purposes: to communicate with the customers and to transact the business. Now, where customer relationships was about the strategies that you want to follow, channels are about the mechanism, the things that you will use to have those interactions with the customers.